welcome to another cup of coffee with me, Sandy. Here is the mug, here is the mug, and I am back, and I've got the most wonderful, wonderful guest today. It's been a long time since we've had a program together, and I've waited. I don't normally have the same person twice on Cup of Coffee, but this gentleman, he's rather special in my life. I met him last year, and because he is, what can I call him? An amazing human being. First of all, he was a physiotherapist and a very big sportsman. And now, because of him being on his mountain bike and he didn't see a little bush in front of him, he went over on his bike and he was here, and his body, he felt, was the other side of him. And unfortunately, after being a physiotherapist and a sportsman, he is now paralyzed. But paralyzed not in the brain, but in the body. But he doesn't let that get him down. And now we are going to meet. If you haven't been seeing him on screen already, you are going to meet my very wonderful friend who I haven't seen for nearly a year, and that is Raymond Westhoff. Hello, Raymond, and how are you?
Yes, good evening. I would say good afternoon. I'm fine. Yes, thank you very much. Nice to see you again. Yeah.
Yes, it's been a long time, and I must tell people that I'm speaking to you in Spain, and you are in Holland. So that's why we didn't know if the timing is the right time for the afternoon or the evening. But whatever it is, I'm so pleased to see you because many questions for you. And I know that after you had the accident, you were in a home, an invalid home hospital for a very long time. Can you give me a little idea of what it was like?
Yes, I will try. I spent there 6 months. First, I was 2 weeks in the hospital, and then I went to the rehabilitation center where they are specialized in spinal cord injuries. It's in Holland. It's a very famous rehabilitation center, and there I was on a special department where only people were lying with spinal cord injuries, and it was the first few weeks. I couldn't move anything. I couldn't move my legs, my arms, my hands. I only could move my head. I had to push with my head to on a button if I wanted to have the nurse with me. And after a few weeks, with a lot of exercises and physiotherapy every day, more times a day, I could move a little bit with my fingers. And I was very glad with every little move I could make. And after a few weeks, I could pick up a few pieces of bread and put it in my mouth. And it was wonderful to not to be fed by others, but to eat yourself.
It's a big achievement.
Yes, very big. And in the beginning, I couldn't get out of bed. They had to lift me out of bed with a ceiling elevator to put me in a wheelchair. And with the wheelchair, it was an electric wheelchair that I could move around the rehab and to go to the different therapists. And then at the evening, I was with the lift, with the ceiling lift, I was put into bed again. And after 2 months, the physiotherapist said, I come tomorrow with 2 colleagues, and we are going to try to make you walk a few steps. And I thought, it's impossible. I never can walk again. And then they put me in all kinds of seat belts, a kind of harness around my body. So if I should fall, I would hang in the harness. And then one physiotherapist lifted my left foot, and the other lifted afterwards my right foot. And so I made a few steps by the hands of those colleagues, in fact. And it was amazing. It was very emotional to make a few steps again after a few months paralyzed. And after that, I went in the weeks later. I went on a sort of treadmill, also in that harness belt. And every day, they lowered the harness so that I had to stabilize my body myself. And after a month, I could walk maybe 3-4 minutes on a treadmill on a very low tempo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was I was very proud that I could do that.
Do you think that because you were a physiotherapist yourself, that enabled you to have the presence in your head to enable yourself to do these things, even though the colleagues helped you?
Yeah, that is a question a lot of people have asked me. I don't know. I have a strong motivation. I think that is the most important. And if you were a physiotherapist or you were a carpenter, that doesn't matter so much. But I could understand everything what was happened in my life. I could understand it better because of my
because your job.
Yeah.
Because you had been helping everybody else every day
Yes.
of your life as soon as you were qualified.
Yes, but I was always motivated with sports, with everything. So I was very motivated to get all the best out of me, what was possible. And I didn't know where it would end. I still don't know where it will end. And now I exercise every day, every morning, half an hour, every afternoon, half an hour.
You do it slowly?
Yeah, I do it slowly to keep what I have.
Yeah.
And hopefully I improve a little bit. I find, if I compare the last few years, that I have improved a little bit. I can do a little bit more. I have more core stability. I have more power in my arms, in my legs. So I'm very glad that I made it so far.
I am as well, and I'm going to take you further because people have seen the program before, and I'm going to go on to a subject that really has amazed me.
Yes.
I recall you telling me that when you got home and you were in the wheelchair, your hands were not very good, but one of your grandchildren said to you, "Grandpa, can you draw a picture for me?" And you said, yes, of course, sure. And you drew a picture. And I don't know how you drew that picture because I know what your hands looked like then, and people have seen. And are you able now to lift your hands up and show?
Yes, I can show.
My goodness me, look how they have improved. Wow, your right hand, you couldn't put your thumb to your middle finger.
Yes, it's possible now, so yes.
I don't believe this.
Yes.
This is just
but I can't stretch them anymore. They are bended. My fingers.
They're bent. But they are, in nearly a year, the improvement from my eyes, seeing what you have done or how much you have achieved is incredible. So
thank you.
You did the picture for your grandchild, and then you thought, what are you going to do to keep your mind going? Because I don't think you have had ever painted or done any artwork before, had you?
No. I could draw a little bit, but it wasn't a hobby of me. And I was working, I was sporting, I had all kinds of other hobbies, and there was no time to draw, to paint or so. and now I'm in a wheelchair, and now I have a lot of time. So yeah, you are searching for other hobbies, and I play chess on online with a few friends every day, and I read a lot on the e-reader, and I paint once a week, twice a week, and yeah, and my exercises I do, and so I spend the days. Yes.
I have got the painting of yours of the saxophonist,
Mm-hmm.
which I often use as my screensaver on my phone, because
Okay.
that painting to me, I don't know why, but it just gets inside me. And then you sent me another painting with the saxophonist who had suddenly gone older. But initially, you had only done, I think it was maybe 4 or 5. And then I got a message from you that you had an exhibition of your paintings. How
Yeah,
did that
almost,
go?
yes. Yeah. Yeah, once a month, I think I have a new painting, and I don't know what is my favorite painting. If it are portraits of people or if it are landscapes, I still don't know. I like everything. Yeah.
You are very much for the outdoors and you love trees, you love flowers. And I think that you now have also got new paintings that if Carla is off the phone, she can
Hmm.
go through and maybe help show
Yes.
the screen one of the paintings. Um, there is, ah, that
Yes.
to me, thank you, Carla. That to
Yes, you
me,
can see it.
I see it perfectly. That
Okay.
has got such depth. That is going into another season. That's how
Yeah,
I see it.
it's early morning spring forest path, I call it, with the sun to the trees and some white flowers in the on the side of the road, and yeah, I like this one.
Yeah. And you've done another one, which is I don't know how you've done it. It's a little girl in the rain.
Yeah, it's a wet road with buildings and with a little girl on it with an umbrella.
Yeah. Now, those her shoes that she is walking in are so tiny. You can just about see them, and you can just about see her amongst all the buildings and the water.
Hmm.
I don't know how, with the hands that you've got, you can manage. Okay, you can drop it or put it aside because it can't be easy for you to hold now. Would that be
Yeah.
better for you to let it go?
Okay.
Okay. How initially, when we did the other program, you told me, if my memory is correct, that you had the paintbrush in your hand
Hmm.
and you painted for an hour, and then the hand was so bad that you had to get the paintbrush out, you had to drop it to the floor because the other hand could not take it to put it down. Is it
Yeah, or I had to use my mouth to
to
put
take it out?
between my teeth to take it out, yeah, out of my hand. Dus I can pick up a little brush, but after a time, it is
You
I
can't
can't I
you
can't
can't
let it
open.
loose. I can't let it go. No,
Uh,
no.
do you realize how much you have achieved in nearly a year?
What do I realize?
Do you realize how much you have achieved in nearly a year? Because you couldn't do any of these things when we initially did the first program.
Yeah, I could it a little bit, but I think it has improved. Yes, yes.
Tremendously.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, you have
Really?
seen me in almost a year. You didn't see me, dus now you see me again. Dus
Yes.
maybe you see that things that go so slowly that I don't realize it.
This is
Yeah, it's
what I'm
possible.
telling you.
Thank you.
You
Yes.
should be so proud of you because you have achieved so much. I was still expecting to see the very uncomfortable looking hands, and they are not like that anymore. And now I have got many paintings that you have sent me, which, as I've said before, I will show later in the program, at the end of the program, which is what I normally do. You have got one of a red Indian, and there is so
Mm,
much color.
mm.
And how do you manage with the brush to change the brush so many times, or to have so many brushes with so much color?
Yeah, I have more brushes, of course, and it is acrylic paint, and you can wash it in a glass of water. I can wash the brush and I clean it, but I use special brushes for the dark paintings and other brushes for the lighter paintings. As if I had black color on my brush, I can't use it for yellow or for white. So but brown is possible, or dark red or so. And the lighter colors, I have other brushes, and I have very small pointy brushes, and I have some other brushes who are a little bit, yeah, what do you call it? Not so small.
Well, they're
Something
bigger. They're bigger.
bigger,
Bigger
yes,
brushes.
bigger,
Yeah.
yes. And I have a glass of water where I put the brushes in when I don't use them, and I can wash them. And when the water is dirty, I change the water.
And you
Yeah,
never did this before. Do you realize that? You
yeah,
just
yeah,
dropped them on the floor. You
yeah.
didn't do all the washing yourself.
Oh, not on the floor. Then I
No,
get
no.
then my wife gets angry, I think. But I couldn't lay them down on the table, so that I have to use my mouth to pick up the brush between my fingers. So yes, yes,
My goodness, I am so excited with your achievement. I, I think, well, my heart is pumping because I'm feeling so happy and so excited because I didn't expect to hear so much of, I know that you are positive, but I didn't think I would see so much positivity of how you have come along the road. It is,
yeah, yeah.
it's really,
Yeah, I also have my difficult moments, but also positive moments. So it changes. I'm a human being, you know.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm sure that you have days, like everybody else, that you don't want to paint. You don't
yes.
want to stretch yourself that far.
Yeah,
I
motivation, and that depends on a lot of things. One day I have more pain, and other day I have less pain. And the pain is also a very important factor for the way I function. Yeah, yeah, klopt.
What do the
Yeah.
doctors tell you of how much more you are going to get as far as all the exercise, the physio that you're doing? How much more um, will you be able to do of what they say and what you believe you can achieve?
Yeah, nobody tells you that because they don't know. Every individual person has another way of revalidation, and I think that this is what I have achieved is that stays that way. But I hope that I can improve and that I'm not going that it increases my complaints, that I keep it on one level.
Yes.
That's very important for me. When I was in the hospital the first week, there came a revalidation specialist, and he looked at me, he tested me, he said, I think you can walk in the future, but I don't know if it will be a few steps or that you walk 5 minutes or 10 minutes. and I can walk with a walker. If my wife supports me on my arm, I can walk 50, 60 meters maximum. And that is, I'm glad I can do that. I can walk with a walker to my bedroom and from the bedroom to the bathroom. And dus I have a ceiling lift inside the house, which is built in the house, but I have never used it. I live now 5 years in my new house, but the ceiling lift is still unused, and I'm very glad that I didn't use it.
I'm very glad to hear that. Raymond, as I said to you that I was so proud that you had not used the equipment that you've got on your ceiling. Would you mind if I asked you some personal questions now?
No, I don't mind.
What are your most severe complaints about being disabled?
Yeah, most people think it's the paralysis from my limbs, but in my most severe complaints are the pains in my hands. I have always very painful hands. You can compare it with if yesterday you had your hands in boiling water. It feels very burnt, and that's all the day. And in the evening it gets worse. And I use painkillers for it, but it doesn't help much. And most people with a spinal cord injury do have those pains on the level of their lesion. Dus, my lesion is in my neck, and the level which belongs to the neck are the hands. And I feel it in my hands. Yes.
Okay, and that's with all people that have had the kind of injury that you've had, have always got these pains in their hands. And
no, if you have a lesion in your chest, then you have the pain in the chest region. And if you have a lesion in your lumbar spine, then you have the lesion in the nerves comparing to your lumbar spine. For example, you have the pain in the legs. But in my case, it's here in my neck, and the nerves from that region of my neck, they go to the hands. The sensitive nerves from the hands, they come in the neck to go to the brain.
Brains. What about in your home, your daily dependency on your wife? Mm-hmm. It's not easy for either one of you.
No, that's all. That is a fact. And we have made the appointment in the beginning that every day there comes home care for me, so that my wife isn't my nurse all the day, 24 hours a day. In the morning, every morning, the home care comes to help me out of bed, to help me to the toilet, to help me with the shower, and to put my clothes on. And every evening, they come to take me into bed, to undress me and to take me into bed. Only the Saturday night, then is there no home care, so we can stay longer in the living room or go visiting people, so that not at 30 past 10, that ding dong, that the home care is at the door. Every evening, ding dong, exactly at 10:30 p.m. They come to bring me into bed. Yes. And I rest every afternoon, and how do you call it? So power nap. And my wife helps me then into bed, and she has to help me more times a day with the urine bag to empty it, and that is what she does. And but the visiting the toilet and showering and taking clothes on and off, that is where I have the home care for every day. And that's a good...
it's a wonderful service. Is that covered by your government?
Yes. That's in here in the Netherlands, it's very good. The reimbursement for AIDS is very good here. And also the renovation from my house, so that I can live here. That is not completely, but for a part, the government has paid it. all the things they have changed for me. And the local authorities here from Oldenzaal, from the town where I live, they were very positive, actively involved in making it possible. And I got an electric wheelchair from the town here, and a hand bike. They give you what you need, no luxury, but the things you need you get from the government here. That's very nice. Yeah.
You are very lucky because that does not happen in the United Kingdom, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And in Spain, they are extremely good to me, but I could get a wheelchair, but not an electric wheelchair. And that's why I've had to buy my own electric bike,
Yeah.
wheelchair bike, but it is still sitting. And that bike has got a name. It's called Enzo Ferrari. Because he's red.
That's the color of Ferrari, yeah? Yeah,
Yes,
Ferrari
and that's
red.
the only thing in my life that I've ever had red, because don't ask me why. I don't like the color of red for anything of clothes or for anything in my home. But Enzo is red, but that I had to buy myself. But as far as equipment in the home, if you need it, here they are extremely good as well. And that is the Junta de Andalucía, which really is extremely helpful. I mentioned something just a few minutes ago about a bike. Am I hearing what you said, that you are going to be back on a bike?
Yeah, kind of. I saw in the newspaper half a year ago two people who were biking in a mountain bike wheelchair through the woods and through the forest. And I thought that is something I would like to do. And I have been searching on internet, and it is a firm from Great Britain who makes mountain trikes, they call it. And it are two wheels with mountain bike tires. And you can move it by moving two handles, so the wheels are driving, and you can steer and brake with the handles. You can click the handle inside to brake, and the other handle you can click inside to go to the right, and click outside to go to the left. And I saw it on a second-hand magazine, and I thought I try it and I buy it. And I have received it last week, and this morning a bicycle repair shop, they are going to update it for me, and they're going to grease it and oil it, so that is very perfect. And they have this morning they have taken it with them, and in a few days I get it back, and then I have to try. It's quite it costs a lot of effort because it isn't electric equipped. I have to do it with my hands, and it costs a lot of power, but it's good for my condition and for my power building for my arms. Because I'm very excited how it's going to work for me in the next future.
I want to tell you, you are an absolute glutton for punishment. And that's an English expression. I don't know if you know it. It just means because you had the accident on a mountain bike, and you were always on that bike with your friends. And now, after all that you've gone through and are still having to go through, you are going back to what made you happy to begin with, and that you are going to achieve. I know you.
But
I can't believe this.
The speed of the mountain trike, that is a walking speed. It's 5 kilometers per hour. It doesn't go very fast, but I can go on unpaved path and forest paths and so, and that I can't with this electric wheelchair, and I also can't with my hand bike. I only can go on flat roads, on asphalt roads, but not on sandy roads or forest paths. And that I would like to do. To when my wife is going to walk or friends are going to walk, that I can go together with them. Yes.
Raymond Westhoff, what a man you are. You
I don't know.
you go down in my book anyway, you go down in history as one who is so persistent, knows that he can do as much as he can, and every day you're pushing yourself further and further. And I didn't want people to think that this was going to be a very sad story of somebody disabled in a wheelchair. This is a story of a man who had a life before. Because of an accident, you've changed your life. You've now got a different life. But look at the color that you brought into your life with your paintings. Look how you have achieved in your head, and look what you have achieved. And I didn't know this, that you have just bought, even if it went 2 kilometers an hour, it makes no difference, because you are going to do it, and you'll be able to be out in the mountains again, not in the mountains, but in the woods.
Yes.
And this is your love, and you are being able to do it. But you know what's making you able to do it?
No?
There.
Okay.
That little thing called the brain.
The brain,
Yes, the brain.
Yeah.
And I am so excited for you. And I just want to say thank you for coming back into my life and for sharing all that you have shared today with me and with my viewers. And I, as before, felt so proud of you, but now even more so.
No, thank you.
I'm going to ask you one favor.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on, when the bike comes back,
you
get onto that bike, but in the woods, not at home. Please send me a photograph.
I promise I will. Yes.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, thank you so much for being on Cup of Coffee with me. We didn't even drink a cup of coffee. I don't know how you managed to drink a cup of coffee, but up there we are both having a cup of coffee together.
Okay. Yeah, I managed to grab a cup of coffee. So I just had a cup of coffee before the interview, and I liked it also very much, and I liked it to see you again. So thank you very much that I was your guest in this program. Yes.
You are so welcome. And from me to you, un beso, which means a kiss to you. A kiss to Carla. And Carla, thank you for helping with the paintings and for being next to him and being his very big support. But that's what a marriage is, and that is what a relationship is. And to my viewers, I say thank you for watching today. I don't know who my guest is going to be tomorrow. I do have some other news for you, which I'm not going to share with you yet. But in the meantime, I say take care, God bless, and I'll see you very soon.
Yes, and good luck to you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.